Did you know that every second your money sits in a Chase or Bank of America savings account, you're actually getting poorer? While you're out there grinding, sending out dozens of resumes a day, inflation is quietly eating your hard-earned cash alive. Don't get me wrong, cash is king, but just sitting on it is a financial suicide mission. In this video, I'm breaking down the exact 6 assets that aren't just safer than cash, but will help you build a financial fortress even if you don't have a full-time job yet. Pay close attention to asset number 4. 99% of recent grads completely miss it, even though its ROI can crush anything on Wall Street by 10x. Let's dive in before your dollar loses another cent of its value. You think keeping your money in the bank is playing it safe? Look, the numbers in your banking app might stay the same, but your buying power is evaporating every time you blink. Imagine holding an ice cube in the middle of a New York summer. You aren't doing anything wrong, but the ice just keeps getting smaller. That's exactly how inflation and current monetary policy work. If you're just saving, you're running a race where the finish line keeps moving further away. But why is it that people your age, some even unemployed, are calmly watching their wealth grow? Is it because they have more capital? Not at all. Before I reveal the 6 assets, there's a question 99% of students and young pros in the US never ask. Why is the bank paying you interest when they're the ones getting rich off your money? The answer lies in a concept the top 0.1% call the liquidity curse. Most people want their money liquid, ready to withdraw at a moment's notice. But that withdraw anytime mindset is the very chain locking you into permanent struggle. You're trading future wealth for a fake sense of security today. If you don't solve this paradox, I could give you the 4 best assets on Earth, and you'd still panic sell the moment the market gets a little shaky. The truth is, the wealthiest people don't keep their net worth sitting in a debit card. They layer their protection. The secret to breaking the liquidity curse is finding tools that give you control while separating survival money from wealth-building money. You don't need to lock your cash away for 10 years. You just need tools that are smarter than your grandfather's savings account. Once you realize that keeping 100% of your cash in a big box bank is actually financial laziness, you'll see you need a setup that's as safe as a bank but performs like a pro investor. This is where our first asset comes in, the perfect fix for the liquidity curse that keeps your money working 24/7. We're talking about money market funds. There's a reason the biggest giants in Silicon Valley park their cash here instead of a standard savings account. Money market funds are a great upgrade, but let's keep it real. They still depend on the stability of private financial institutions. In an economy where even banking titans can wobble overnight, is there a place that's truly an impenetrable fortress for your blood, sweat, and tears? Especially if that money is for next semester's tuition or next month's rent, money you literally cannot afford to lose a single penny of. Before I reveal the world's safest bunker, you need to understand a secret about financial power they don't teach in college. In a storm, the captain's boat is the last one to sink. The question is, who's the captain of the US economy? Is it Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan, or the people who actually print the dollars in your pocket? Most young people make the mistake of trusting a middleman, the bank, instead of going straight to the source. You're paying a fee for fake safety when you could be holding the master key. The 0.1% elite hate middlemen when it comes to absolute security. They want their money backed by the most powerful entity on the planet. When you cut out the bank and put your money directly in the captain's hands, you eliminate third-party risk and get the purest interest rates on the market. This isn't a billionaire's privilege, it's a tool sitting right on your phone. If you're looking for a spot safer than any bank for your tuition fund, stop looking at savings rates. Look at what the banks are buying with your money. Short-term US Treasury Bills. This is where you flip the script. Instead of lending to a bank that could fail, you become a creditor to the US government. Let me show you how to leverage the Fed's current high rates to turn your spending-to-be cash into the world's safest printing press. Treasury bills are a great short-term shelter, but look at the big picture. You're still holding paper.
History shows that every fiat currency has an invisible expiration date. When you're staring down a tough job market, the worst-case scenario isn't just having no income, it's having your savings lose value because of political printing presses. You need a real anchor, something whose value isn't decided by a central bank. But does a student with $20 left over a week really need to be buying gold bars? Before I show you how to own gold for just $10, you have to solve a psychological puzzle that the top 0.1% master while the crowd ignores. In a crisis, do you want something you can hold in your hand or something you can take anywhere? This is the survivor's bias. Most people think of gold as heavy bars in a safe, but for a young person who needs to be mobile, moving cities for work, or even moving countries, that heaviness is a financial shackle. You need the security of gold with the speed of the internet. If you don't digitize this anchor, you're stuck with obsolete assets. The modern elite aren't buying gold at a jewelry store and worrying about theft. They use digital tools backed one-to-one by physical gold in the world's most secure vaults. This lets you own a fraction of gold, as small as the price of a Chipotle bowl, with global liquidity. You get the ownership of a king with the portability of a file on your phone. To stop your wealth from turning into scrap paper when the system shakes, you need to activate asset number 3, digital gold and gold ETFs. Instead of dropping $2,000 on an ounce, I'll show you how to use standard US investing apps to buy in starting at $10. This isn't about 10xing your account overnight. It's about building your final line of defense, a psychological anchor that lets you stay calm during employment gaps. Once that anchor is set, we can start building the real passive income machine with asset number 4. Gold keeps you from getting poor, but to truly break out and have money flowing in even when you're between jobs, you need a machine. Look at your life right now. You wake up to an iPhone alarm, open a MacBook to edit your resume, and grab a Coke to stay sharp. Every one of those actions drains your pocket and enriches someone else. You are feeding multi-billion-dollar corporations. But why does the 0.1% look at these same products as cash cows instead of liabilities? It's called loyalty profits, a switch you haven't flipped yet. Before I give you the list of blue-chip stocks to build your passive income, answer this. Why are you happy to pay them every day, but terrified to let them pay you back? This is the consumer paradox. The masses fear the stock market because they think it's gambling, yet they don't blink at spending $1,000 on a new phone. The elite never just spend, they swap positions. If you don't learn to turn every bill into a reinvestment, you're trapped in the cycle. Work, spend, work harder. You're missing the toggle to reverse the cash flow. The truth is, companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Coca-Cola have a wealth-sharing mechanism for those who back them. The elite don't call it risky investing, they call it a permanent rebate. Instead of just getting a gadget, they get a slice of the company's profit. When you own a piece of the business, you're not a consumer anymore, you're a shareholder. That's when the spending curse becomes an income blessing. To go from a job seeker to a business owner, you need to step into asset number 4, dividend stocks. This is how you use the power of compounding from the very places you already spend money. Imagine Apple or Coca-Cola sending a little cash to your account every quarter just because you're part of the team. That's how you build an empire, one brick at a time. But be careful, picking the wrong ticker can wipe you out. That's why asset number 5, the ultimate weapon of Wall Street, is what actually lets you sleep at night without staring at a ticker all day. Sitting on cash is fine for emergencies, but for freedom, you need a smart portfolio. The biggest mistake you can make at 22 isn't being unemployed, it's having money and letting it die in a bank account. If you're worried about how a frozen job market affects your future, you need to watch this next video right here on building a financial roadmap from scratch in 2026. Click it now so you don't miss the next move.